Tonight, it is no-brainer that the race to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta as the Mount Kenya region kingpin is gaining momentum, with several political heavyweights backing on the president's nod as the region charts its path in the 2022 game plan. On Pundits Night, we delve deeper into the Mount Kenya region succession politics. Good evening, but first, the highlights. World marks Women's Day as more than 370 teenage mothers from Baringo County get a second chance to resume learning after they got pregnant. Also tonight, Echesa to spend the night in police custody. Malala and Osoro grilled by DCI officials over the recent by-elections, as a number of MPs are grilled by NCIC over incitement. And a number of counties kick off vaccination of healthcare workers. We have the details here tonight. Mini Mbesa is our sign language interpreter. Good evening, I'm Abubakar Abdullahi. Welcome to the broadcast. To our top story tonight, and several counties have started the COVID-19 vaccination exercise among the healthcare workers. These counties include that of Machakos, Meru, Nakuru, and Kiambu. Mudhoni Maina begins our broadcast tonight.
The COVID-19 vaccine for health workers was launched today in Machakos County. The launch was set to test the system and then roll out mass vaccinations in Machakos Level 5, Level 4, and Level 3 health facilities from Wednesday of this week.
Today's launch was a test system, and will roll out max vaccination in our Machakos Level 5s, Level 4, and Level 3 facilities from Wednesday of this week.
According to Machakos County Governor Dr. Alfred Mutua, the county received 900 vials of the AstraZeneca or Oxford vaccine, which are enough to vaccinate 9,000 persons.
We have received 900 vials of the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine, which are enough to vaccinate 9,000 people.
In Nakuru County, healthcare workers and the staff were vaccinated. The county government of Nakuru says that children have benefited from being immunized against many killer diseases such as BCG, measles, and polio.
In this hospital, which is our main hospital, or cadres, anybody who works in the hospital will be covered. Yes. None of the other vaccines that we give, even our children, is made here. So really, the traditional ones like BCG or measles or polio, I would ask them to get information from the right people so that they are well informed. Vaccines are important because first is a simple and effective and cost-effective way of preventing ourselves from getting ill.
Elsewhere, 1,500 COVID-19 vaccines were also launched at the Moi County Referral Hospital in Taita Taveta. According to the administration health officer, the government invited health workers for the COVID-19 vaccine training program, as the county governor Granton Samboja was expected to spearhead the launch.
Kalku imeweza kutuma vaccines 1,500 to our regional depot, na hizo vaccines as we talk today ziko hapa Moi County Referral Hospital. Siku ya leo tunatarajia kuwa na viongozi na tutakuwa na His Excellency Granton Samboja mwenye ata lead the political leadership kupokea chanjo.
A total of 337 people tested positive for COVID-19 out of a sample size of 2,924 tested in the last 24 hours. Total confirmed positive cases are now 109,164. The cumulative fatalities have raised to 1,879 as 3 patients succumbed to the disease. Mudhoni Maina, TV47.
Elsewhere, former sports CS Rashid Echesa will be forced to spend another night in the cold cells of Gigiri Police Station as South Mugirango Member of Parliament Silvanus Osoro was set free on a 100,000 shillings bond. Meanwhile, Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala will have to wait until Wednesday this week to know his fate. All the three are facing allegations that they had a hand in the chaos that erupted in last week's by-elections. Last Thursday's chaotic by-elections have come to haunt some politicians believed to be behind the chaos, with the detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations (DCI) on the hunt to bring them to book. South Mugirango Member of Parliament Sylvena Sosoro presented himself at the DCI offices in Kisii to record a statement after his car was impounded during the scuffle that followed the Messi Kiamokama Ward mini poll last week.
I hear from the rumors that it has everything to do with the Kiamokama by-election, which I was actually not there.
However, Osoro appeared before Chief Magistrate Nathan Shiundu for allegedly breaking and damaging Peter Karanja's motor vehicle, the court releasing him on a 100,000 shilling bond. His case expected to be mentioned on the 22nd of this month.
He may be released on a bond of 100,000 shillings with one surety of a similar amount or a cash bail of 50,000 shillings. I propose to mention 22nd March for purposes of pre-trial and thereafter to fix a hearing date.
Leo mmenishika, kesho najua mtashika mwingine. Lakini tena kujeni hapa tena mnisike. Nirudi nitalipa cash bail. Sina shida. Mmeniambia nilipe 1,100 nimewapea kama karatasi. Hii maneno ya kututisha ovyo ovyo kwa sababu ya political reasons hatuwezi kubali.
Former Sports Cabinet Secretary Rashid Echesa was not left behind, with the detectives producing him at the Kiambu Law Courts for allegedly using force and causing violence at the Bulonga polling station during the Matungu constituency by-election. In this viral video, Echesa is seen slapping an IEBC official, an act that has since been condemned by IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati. Chief Magistrate Patricia Gichohi ordering that Echesa remains in police custody at the Gigiri police station until tomorrow, with the prosecution asking the court to give them 7 more days to conclude their investigations.
I remand the suspect at Gigiri police station until tomorrow at 11 a.m. for that ruling, so that I can finish with all the work I have.
Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala, who is facing a similar case, will have to wait until Wednesday this week to know his fate.
On Wednesday tumeambiwa turudi kotini. Tuende kotini, mimi nikiwemo mmoja wao, tuende tuangalie kama watatushtaki sijui watatushtaki kwa nini, kwa sababu sijui kama watatushtaki kwa kushinda kura ama watatushtaki kwa kukua pamoja kama Waluya.
However, Uasin Gishu woman representative Gladys Sholei and former Mombasa Senator Hassan Omar have faulted the government for weaponizing its security agencies, warning of targeted arrests to silence opposition within the government.
The criminal justice system has been used for victimization of opponents, apart from the affront by the Constitution, is the way the DCI office has been derogated in terms of its impartiality and credibility.
In the 1990s, it was legal to have arbitrary arrests, but we changed the law, and that there's no place in our current constitution or our current laws for what is happening at the moment. So what we are seeing is open defiance of the law by the government. We are seeing a situation where actually Uhuru Kenyatta is now an active dictator.
Musa Salah, TV 47.
Now, out of the 10 lawmakers who were summoned by the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, only 7 obeyed the summons. However, those who appeared before the commission have accused the commission of taking sides in handling political matters.
MPs linked to recent violence during the Kabochai and Matungo by-election last week were summoned by the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, NCIC, for grilling. 7 out of the 10 who had been summoned appeared before the commission, but accused the commission of being used for political reasons.
On the ground in Matungu, we had DCI, we had the Inspector General, of course, represented. We had NCIC, but they have decided to act on wrong people.
Simamo wetu bado ni ule ule, na hawezi kunishurutisha labda kusupport mtu mwingine, sababu hii naona tu ni siasa ndogo ndogo, na mimi nitasupport yule mtu ambaye namtaka mimi, yule mtu ambaye naona ako na maono ya kuenua jamii.
At least give us different timings and the times which you know you're ready, because we are all busy out there. So at least if they know they are not ready, give me a day and time when you are ready to attend to me.
Ford Kenya party leader who represented his party member, Community Member of Parliament Chris Wamalwa, also accused the commission of failing in its responsibilities.
We live here NCIC offices with the following feelings. One, we don't know who the accuser is. Two, we don't know what the issues are. And three, we want to tell the nation that we believe in peace.
Home of Member of Parliament Gladys Wanga, who failed to honor the summons, termed it as a plan to cover up those who committed electoral offences. NCIC lawyer Chalo Mwengi says the commission will work closely with IEBC to bring to book those who violated the electoral laws and caused violence.
Yes, if there is any public or state officer who will have been found to have committed any offense, of course they shall be processed. But these allegations of a cabal, they have always been there. You breach the law when investigative agencies come along. You create a lot of smoke screen to create
Moving on, Deputy President William Ruto has urged the lawmakers to amend clauses in the BBI bill that he claims undermine women leadership. Ruto has alleged that a section of political leaders were out to curtail the roles played by women in the National Assembly. Speaking on International Women's Day celebrations at Umoja Grounds in Embakasi West, Nairobi County, Ruto called for women empowerment through leadership and legislation. Meanwhile, Ruto allies accused the Inspector General of Police and Interior CS, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, of using police officers to harass them.
Leadership of women in Kenya token. Let us not reduce it to matters of tokenism. Women are as capable in Kenya as men. Let us allow women to be elected into the National Assembly like men being elected into the National Assembly, and let us not reduce women leadership into token leadership to be given by nomination. Women can compete, and women should be in the National Assembly by election, not nomination. And I hope Parliament will help us correct the anomaly that is currently in the BBI process.
I want to tell the Inspector General of Police and the CS Matiang'i that he should not issue illegal instructions to police, because I'm a police in Masla. If the IG is not going to run the police professionally, then he should resign and run a militia group.
Tulikuwa na uchaguzi na the Inspector General akatumia polisi vibaya, wakatupa tear gas na wakatupiga. Lakini wananchi walisimama imara na wakapigia hustlers wenzao kura.
Hata hawa polisi mishahara yao wameumizwa. Na wewe Inspector General wa polisi, badala ya kutetea askari wako, wewe unawadhulumu kuwaingiza kwa mambo ya siasa. DP asiambiwa ati yeye ana insight masafara. Yeye amesema kila Mkenya kwa sababu analipa ushuru, wakati wanajenga mareli na mabuilding, pia chapa kidogo iletwe hapa isikumiwa mama wa soko na vijana na wale watu wote wanapiga hustle.
Moving on, farmers from Njoro in Nakuru County have embraced the farming of herbs as an alternative source of livelihood. The herbs with medicinal value include rosemary and mint and are destined for export market, with farmers hailing this kind of farming for the encouraging yields.
At her quarter-acre farm in Mukunguru village, Njoro, Nakuru County, Sarah Nyambura has invested in farming a range of several herbal crops. Nyambura, a subsistence farmer, has hailed the herbal crops for their ease in farming, as they are not as demanding as other crops.
Kwa sababu katika kulima herbs kuna wepesi kulingana na matumizi ya ukulima mwingine, kwa sababu tunapolima viazi tunahitaji mbolea, tunahitaji dawa, na pia ina kazi ya kufanyiwa. Lakini kwa herbs ni kulima unapopanda, bora tu utunze, ipate maji na uweze kupalilia mmea wako.
Other farmers have hailed the farming, saying they are resistant to pests and diseases. The yields are encouraging and less labor force is required. The herbs fetch as much as 200 shillings a kilo.
Tukiondoa hii changamoto ya kukosa market, herbs ni mzuri maana haina changamoto kubwa kutokana na pests. Kwa kuwa zingine ni repellent kwa pests na vile vile inakubaliana na mchanga ya hapa kwetu. Sasa ile hata harvesting inatakikana kuwa harvested mara kadhaa. Kwa hivyo si kama hii chakula ingine kama mahindi ambayo tuna harvest annually.
And the returns are a bit appealing, unlike other crops like tomato and cabbages, whereby you are doing at once. Maybe you get that we have a glut in the market because all the farmers are doing it.
Kenyans have been encouraged to regularly consume the herbal crops as they offer immunity against diseases. Women and youth are the major target of this empowerment program, being driven by a non-governmental organization seeking to uplift women and youth in the horticulture sector.
These herbs, and we recommend herbs to prevent and manage diseases such as diabetes, ulcers, to manage sore throat, whooping cough, cholesterol levels.
And when you empower women and the youth, you increase economic development, you increase incomes at home level, you reduce poverty.
The Market Access Program, funded by the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, is aimed at improving the competitiveness of small-scale farmers within 12 counties through the enhancement of quality and safety standards in a variety of crop value chains, including herbal and spices. Mwangi Maina, TV47.
Thank you, Mwangi Maina, for that report. You are watching TV47 News Tonight with me, Abu Bakr Abdullahi. Keep talking to us. The hashtag to use tonight is Pandits Night TV47. Time for us to take a short break. We still have a lot lined up for you. We'll be back with more after this break. Stay tuned.
TV47, the home of untold stories. Are you a storyteller? What is that untold story in your village? Tell us the story in 3 minutes. Submit that story to your untold stories at tv47.co.ke and stand a chance to win a camera and other goodies. The top stories will be aired on TV47 and the viewer will vote for the best story through the SMS number 22047. The story must be an evergreen story that has never been told before. The deadline for submitting the stories is March 15, 2021. The link is by SMS on TV47, the home of untold stories. Only the wearer knows where it pinches the most. Soil fertility, proper temperature, water are just some of the factors needed to make that crop germinate. And for that animal, adequate feeds and healthy conditions is what they need. Kilimo Diaries takes you to different farmers, markets and processing companies and have you fully equipped for that agriculture venture. Kilimo Diaries, every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. This month, the Throwdown treats your taste buds with a sweet ride down dessert heaven with delicious and tasty recipes that will make your sweet tooth tingle. The Throwdown, every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Are you a storyteller? What is that untold story in your village? Tell us the story in 3 minutes. Submit that story to your untold stories at tv47.co.ke and stand a chance to win a camera and other goodies. The top stories will be aired on TV47 and the viewer will vote for the best story through the SMS number 22047. The story must be an evergreen story that has never been told before. The deadline for submitting the stories is March 15, 2021. The link is by SMS on TV47, the home of Untold Story.
Welcome back to TV47 News Tonight with me, Abu Bakr Abdullahi. Thank you for staying with us. And to another story, and more than 370 teenage mothers from Baringo County received a sponsorship from the county government that will see them through school. This took place on a day when the world marked International Women's Day, as our senior education affairs reporter Sharon Baranga now reports.
At Sintan and Eldume villages in Baringo South, there are girls who are hopeful that they will pursue their dreams after they were given a second chance at education. They had dropped out of school after becoming pregnant, and some of them narrate life pushed them to the corner and they had to look for ways to survive.
Kwa nyumbani, sikuwa napata kama sahihi sanitary tiles, sikuwa napata pesa ya kununua kama hizo. Sasa nilikuwa nafikiria nitapata wapi pesa yote, ndio maisha yangu tu pesa nisikae kuishi hivi. Sasa ndio nikakubali kukaa na boyfriend. Sasa vile nikakuwa na boyfriend, nikakaa na yeye mpaka nikapata mimba. Sasa vile nikapata mimba ndio akaniruka.
Chebet, not her real name, is an orphan. She became pregnant when she was in class 8.
Nilifanya nipate mimba ni kuwa na pia pressure na kuwa na marafiki, so nilikuwa naona kuna venye nilikuwa na feel tu, naona kila mtu wenye nilikuwa naye alikuwa na shiriki na fulana, walikuwa na umeshakuwa na ma boyfriends, so ilinibidi pia mimi nikaingia hapo, nikapata boyfriend, nikapata mimba. Baba mtoto yenyewe hakukuwa, sikuwa imuona, alikuwa ameshazima simu yake na nikahangaika sana.
Some of these girls had lost hope of ever completing their studies.
Nilipojifungua nikaambiwa, nilikuwa nimeambiwa utaurudi tena shule. Nika lose hope kidogo. Nikamwendea hiyo brother yangu mwenye niko kwake huko. Nikamwambia nitaka kwenda shule. Akaniambia, sasa nikikuingisha shule utatoboa. Nikamwambia nitatoboa, sasa nitafanya ni kwa nyumbani na nishaelewa hakuna mali nitaenda bila kusoma.
Sasa kaniambia mbona upeleke mtoto shule? Nikasema kwanza mimi kwa nyumba yangu, mimi ni mama na mimi ni mzee. Sasa sijui namna yote because mtoto akiwacha mtoto mimi nitahangaika kukaa nyumbani.
Mzee anaserekanga wakati mzee alitoka. Anasema wacha mtoto anakaa kabisa, hawezi enda tena shule. Tukakaa mpaka anasema mama nataka enda shule. Mimi naambia sasa mtoto wangu nani anashika mtoto? Na mimi naenda shamba nafanya kazi yote. Mimi nakaa kufikiria mtoto anataka shule mpaka nikaamua kushika mtoto. Akaenda darasa, akarudia 7.
Some could not raise school fees.
We keep very close to these girls, we encourage them, and we are seeing their academic performance has improved. Their character has also changed because they want to make it in life. We are also introducing them to role models so that they can emulate the role models as they pursue their careers in life.
Without such a program, without such assistance, let me tell you, the lives of these girls could have become just but doom. Because dropping at that age getting children at that age, no coming back to school. It's actually terrible in life.
In Baringo County, more than 300 girls had dropped out of school last year after they became pregnant. The county government came to their aid by giving them scholarships. Parents have been urged to ensure their girls resume their studies after they deliver children, and they shouldn't marry them off.
It's against human rights. It's against the child right. To marry off a girl of 13 years, 12 years, that's not a woman. That's a baby. That's a toy. You are just playing with. That one doesn't know anything like being a woman or a mother.
As the world marked International Women's Day, Baringo County government gave each of the girls 10,000 shillings towards their school fees. Sharon Baranga, TV 47.
President Uhuru Kenyatta and First Lady Margaret Kenyatta, in separate occasions, joined the world in marking the International Women's Day on Monday. In her speech, the First Lady encouraged more women to actively seek elective and other positions of leadership both at the national and county levels. Ruth Mulandi now brings us the Women's Day roundup across the counties.
It is the day that the world celebrates the achievements made by the society to include women in the global participation for years now. And this year, in full glare of the pandemic that hit the globe in 2020, this year's theme, Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 World, under the hashtag Choose to Challenge. Together with other government officials, the First Lady Margaret Kenyatta applauded the current 23% representation of women in the National Assembly, further encouraging women to seek elective and other positions given the opportunity.
We need to be bold in a big way. We know that women can bring a difference in leadership by ensuring that the needs and aspirations of women and men, boys and girls are addressed equitably.
I'm confident that with the effective implementation of gender and development policy and the enforcement of laws, continued political will, and change of our attitude, we will achieve 50-50 and equal world.
President Uhuru Kenyatta commended his latest achievement of the signing of a declaration by Samburu elders to end FGM and early marriages within the community, as it was a culture that greatly discriminated against women and girls.
This year's Women's Day has chosen the theme, Choose to Challenge. This theme, expounded, illustrates a challenged world, is an alert world, and from a challenge comes change. I therefore impress on everyone to borrow from this theme and celebrate our women and recognize their critical contribution not only to our societies, but also to our economies.
In Isiolo County, a group of women advocating against FGM and early marriages came out to champion for women and girls' rights within the county, calling for the implementation of proposals to create bylaws through the county assembly in order to safeguard the rights of women in Isiolo.
Especially this area, msichana hakukuwa na rake la kusema, msichana hakukuwa naenda hata shule, msichana hakukuwa na anything, ilikuwa tu msichana hakue haoswe, kwa maana baba na mama wanaona mali mbele yao wakiona msichana. Kwa hivyo lengo letu ilikuwa tutoe hiyo msichana hapo tuone amesoma.
One of the proposals in the policy is to have a rescue center, because in Isiolo we do not have a rescue center pale ambapo wanawake ambao wana face zile gender based violence kama FGM, kama early marriages, kama teen pregnancies, hawana mahali popote pale pa kutorokea.
And in Murang'a, a section of leaders from the area derived from different fields in leadership joined the women of the county to celebrate International Women's Day by honoring and encouraging the young women of Murang'a that they too can make it to the top.
Of course, there are many challenges that a woman faces and the girl child, but we have braved it all, and that's why we are in these positions, and we are here to motivate other women and the children, girls here, to come and get these jobs and go for them full throttle, because what a man can do, we can do even better.
2022 wamama wasimame katika viti. Hatutaki ile maneno ya nomination, tunaambua ni favor. Mama akisimama ambaye anaweza, tumpatie nafasi ili wamama waendeleshe jamii, na tunaona kwamba wamama wakipewa kazi wanafanya kazi safi.
Ruth Mulandi, TV47.
Kenya's leading private university, Mount Kenya University, and the United Nations Institute for Training and Research earlier today signed a memorandum of understanding. The virtual event brought together leading education stakeholders, and in the new collaboration will see the university revamp its teaching and training abilities, as well as expand its research base.
Challenge of the massive integration of e-learning at schools and universities, as well as reaching the most remote areas, is significant, but not impossible to overcome. Through pooling our resources and knowledge, we can achieve much more and much faster than we can imagine.
Indeed, some good news there for the Mount Kenya University fraternity. Time for us to get to the world of sports now. Let's bring in Dennis Otieno, who is with us tonight. Dennis?
Yes, Abubakar. Now, tonight, we will be telling you about what pretty much Harambee Stars and their preparations for the 2022 AFCON qualifiers. We shall also be telling you about the Kieni East Volleyball Tournament and who emerged victorious. Now, this and more coming up in just a bit. Now, just to begin things off, we shall start off with Harambee Stars. Now, national football team Harambee Stars is set to play 3 friendly matches against South Sudan and twice against Tanzania in preparation for the African Cup of Nations qualifier matches. Kenya is set to face Egypt and Togo on 25th and 29th of this month. Now, respectively, with the Stars head coach Jacob Ghost Mulee lacking for maximum points.
Now, the league has been on, and that gives us a lot in terms of player selection. And I will assure you that at least the local players now will have a touch and a run for the Harambee Stars. We'll try to give our best shot in the 2 remaining fixtures.
Tutapambana diski ya mwisho. Mpira ndo hivyo, unaweza qualify ikianza, unaweza qualify siku ya mwisho, lakini tunajua tuko katika nafasi ngumu. Lakini sisi kama wachezaji hatuta give up, tuta fight na.
From football to matters volleyball, where General Service Unit GSU beat the Kenya Defence Forces 3-0 in Kieni East Volleyball Tournament Sunday evening. GSU got off to a flying start, winning the first set 25-23, followed by a 25-18 win in the second set, before sealing the victory with scores of 26-24 in the third set. In the men junior category, Mount Kenya United beat Afraha 3-1, while in the women category, Thika Queens beat Young Spikers 3-0. The tournament was held by Kenya Volleyball Federation officials in a bid to nurture talents at grassroots levels.
Me as an MCA, I've done my best because I'm going to counter assembly and I'm going to bring the motion